I talk about identity first in the book before I talk about the habits, before I flesh out what the habits are, because there is no way at all that you will enlist habits into your life and be committed and have with any sort of conviction to live out these habits if you don't have a really strong drive to connect the habits to an outcome. When you read my book, you're probably going to think, I've heard this before, or I know this. Of course, there's a certain number of meals I can have a day that are going to be optimum to losing weight. And of course, I have to have set short goals and then also long-term body vision. Of course I do. But I promise you that it's going to be challenging to do those things that you know to do if you are identifying with the person that you are right now. What is important is that the person that you are right now already has habits in place that are perpetuating your identity, who you are right now. And what I want you to do before you begin your program to change your body is I want you to conceive of your new self. Some people might hear that and go, well, I don't want to be a new self. I want to be myself. I love myself. And I have to interrupt that and tell you that there is an expansion as opposed to discarding who you are. I want you to think of this more as an expansion of who you are. And I want you to upgrade your identity. The person that you've been up till now has several wins, has a good life, has good relationships, and I'm just presupposing this. But for you to be able to have that body and that health and to do the things that are needed to sustain the body that you have a goal to achieve and the shape and the life that you have a goal to live, the only way that is possible is for you to construct the identity that has that body, that has that life. I have this in the book. My first weight loss journey, I had help from people who were able to see me the way I secretly saw myself. They were able to outwardly tell me what I had the potential to become. And it was amazing because those were my secret desires. And because I found a couple of people, Elliot and Anna, who believed in me and saw my vision also, it pulled me to my vision. And this is what I recommend that you do. Find someone, a teacher, a trainer, a friend, who sees what you're capable of becoming. And here is what's amazing about whatever they tell you, whatever they see, is it aligns with a secret belief you hold about yourself. It actually triggers this belief that you've been fantasizing about or daydreaming about, that it connects and sparks that. That is what I want you to do to start to construct this new identity. When it was time for me to do my first bodybuilding show, I had never had visible muscle on my body. And in fact, I had fat that was visible and skin rolls that were visible, but I never was sculpted ever in my life. Not even when I was a kid. So for me to have this dream of being sculpted and being in a bodybuilding show and not being embarrassed to have the bikini on and turn around and flex took a lot of mental construct. I had to see that it could be possible. And on my body, I hardly could do that. And I'm just telling the truth. I hardly could do that. So I found a body, Monica Brandt, who was at the time a fitness competitor, and she had my structure, large legs, broad shoulders, small waist. And I said, okay, since I can't construct it on me and see myself that way, I'm gonna look at her and feel like that is my mirror. And then what did I do? I researched Monica Brandt in every magazine. Back in the 90s, we just got our research out of magazines when we were looking for bodybuilders or fitness competitors to research. We didn't do it online, we did it in magazines. I read everything I could find on Monica Brandt, everything I could find. How she worked out, how she ate, what she did, how her day was spent. I read it and I copied it. I lived as closely to Monica Brandt's life as I possibly could. And what I did was I thought, what does a person like Monica Brandt think about? What does a person like Monica Brandt do when she's discouraged? What does a person like Monica Brandt do when she feels like she can win the shows? And I researched Monica Brandt and what she would do and decisions that she would make, and I basically sucked them into my body and copied it. And this helped me to construct a new identity for myself. I have done this before on stage as a singer and performer. When I was in a show, certain shows, I would actually pretend that I was one of my favorite vocalists. So I would pretend I was Diana Ross or Donna Summer or Barbra Streisand. I would pretend I was them and construct the identity. How would they do it? How would they feel? How would they stand? How would they respond? How would they interpret the song? And then I superimpose all of that onto myself. I will tell you that if you can't find if you cannot find it within yourself to be who you need to be, to become who you're aiming to become fit, to become healthy, to become the kind of person who can practice 8 healthy and happy rituals to change your life, if you can't do it on your own, you are going to need to study or find a soul in the world that you can emulate, and then do that. Do you know the greatest artists, visual artists, copy other artists until they find their styling? The greatest singers will listen and listen and listen and listen. Stevie Wonder listened to Donny Hathaway, listen and listen and listen until they find their own voice. And sometimes if you listen to a singer, like I can hear Patti LaBelle in Celine Dion's voice. If you listen to a singer well, you can tell who they played over and over. You can tell who Michael Jackson watched over and over and over and over because they have embodied it and created their identity around these subjects that they've superimposed themselves into, and then at a certain point what happens is there's a blurred line and you don't know what was first, the chicken or the egg. Right? Unless you know really who came first, you really don't know. So we are here as one collective, and we can borrow inspiration from others. So in the first part, identity is essential for you to be able to get through the rest of the concepts in the book and the Lean Audio series, if you're doing the Lean Audio series. Who are you? And even more important, who are you becoming? So you can sit with your journal and you can write, if I were healthy, I would live like this. And then you write the kinds of things you would do if you were healthy. And then I want you to do another, here's a conversation starter for another journal entry. If I were lean and I had the body sculpted as I desire, my lifestyle would look like this. And write it in story form, put bullets, however you like. Who are you? And who are you becoming?